Good everyone. So today I'm going to discuss the caselet number 62 and number 99. So first is the caselet number 62, which is talent management. So the case is this. A financial services firm is struggling to develop a pipeline of future leaders. How can talent management strategies be implemented to identify and develop potential leaders? First is we're going to identify the problem. So our key issue here is that the financial services firm lacks a robust leadership pipeline. So this means they are struggling to identify, develop, and prepare individuals within the organization to take on leadership roles in the future. So next is contextualize. Focus on digital transformation. Financial services companies are increasingly investing in digital transformation initiatives to improve customer experiences, enhance efficiency, and stay ahead of the competition. And lack of strategic acumen. Many financial services firms are struggling to develop leaders with the strategic thinking and decision-making skills. And then next is the stakeholders. Our stakeholders are current leadership, maintaining their positions, ensuring the firm's success, and leaving a legacy of strong leadership. Then existing employees, career advancement, job security, and a positive work environment. Then shareholders, maximizing returns on their investment, ensuring the firm's long-term financial stability, and maintaining a strong reputation. And then the customers receiving a high quality financial services, experiencing a positive customer experience, and having confidence in the firm's stability and reliability. The next is the second is the analyze the situation. So we're going to enter the SWOT analysis. So first is the strengths. A well-established brand can attract top talent and build trust with customers. This can be a significant advantage in a competitive industry. A solid financial foundation allows for investment in talent development programs. Deep knowledge of the financial services industries can provide a competitive advantage in attracting and retaining talent. So their weaknesses are is this the firm's inability to identify and develop future leaders poses a significant threat to its long-term success. Then a culture of resistance to change can make it difficult to implement new talent management strategies and adapt to industry trends. Opportunities. The firm can leverage digital technologies to enhance talent management process. Then the industry is expected to continue growing, creating opportunities for the firm to attract and retain top talent. Then there are threats. The financial services industry is becoming increasingly competitive, making it challenging to attract and retain top talent. The financial services industry is subject to frequent regulatory changes. And the third is develop alternative courses of action or the ECA or ECOA. The first is implement a comprehensive leadership development program. So create a structured program that addresses the specific leadership skills needed in the financial services industry. The second is revamp talent management practices. Modernizing existing practices by incorporating data-driven insights, using technology to streamline processes, and aligning talent management with business strategy. Then the third one is foster a culture of mentorship and sponsorship. This create a formal mentorship program pairing high potential employees with experienced leaders. Then the fourth step is the evaluate each ACA or ECOA. So first is the implement a comprehensive leadership development program. So their advantages is develop a talent pool, builds a leadership culture, enhances employee engagement, and improves the retention. And their disadvantages are requires significant investment in time, resources, and expertise, potential for program fatigue if not well designed, and may not be suitable for all employees. Then their feasibility are highly practical, as many successful companies have implemented leadership development programs. The second ECE is revamp talent management practices. So their advantages: improve talent identification, enhances employee retention, creates a more agile and responsive talent management system. Disadvantages: requires a significant cultural shift, may be met with resistance from employees and managers, and can be time consuming and resource extensive. So their feasibility is highly practical, as many companies have successfully revamped their talent management practices. The third ECE is our foster a culture of mentorship and sponsorship. So their advantages: provide valuable guidance and support for aspiring leaders, build relationships across different levels of the organization. So their disadvantages are mentorship and sponsorship programs may not be effective, then may not be implemented consistently, and may not be aligned with the overall strategy overall strategy. Then their feasibility or requires investment in time, resources, and expertise. The next is recommend a course of action. So, revamping talent management practices offers a comprehensive and sustainable approach to developing a leadership pipeline. So, minimizing risks while maximizing the potential for long-term success. The next is number is uh, implementation and the evaluation. So, in implementation, there's a steps. So, first is the assessment and planning. It's good for 1 to 3 months. So conduct assessment of current leadership talent and identify key areas for development. The second is program implementation is good for 6 months, 4 to 9. So roll out leadership development program, including workshops, training sessions, and mentoring opportunities. Then the third is the evaluation and optimization. It's good for 3 months. So this analyze program outcomes against define the key performance indicators. So the responsibilities for this is that the project lead, the steering committee, and the implementation. Then the team resource allocation is the budget, then time, then the personnel. And the next is the evaluation. Quantitative metrics measure participant engagement, retention rates, promotion rates, and leadership competency growth. The next is the qualitative feedback. Gather feedback from participants on program effectiveness, relevance, and impact on their development. The next is the continuous improvement. Use evaluation findings to make ongoing improvements to the program for future iterations. Then the next caselet is the caselet 99, which is the organizational transparency. So employees are demanding more transparency from leadership regarding decision making process. So how can the organization increase transparency without compromising confidentiality? So first, we are going to identify the problem. So the key issue here is that lack of transparency and trust between leadership and the employees. So the conceptualize relevant facts, market conditions, and industry trends. The current labor market is highly competitive, with employees having more leverage than ever before. Then company specific details. The company's existing culture will play a significant role in how employees perceive the lack of transparency. So they're the stakeholders, the internal and the external. So employee, the managers, investors, then the customers. Then the second second one is the analyze the situation with a SWOT analysis. So the strengths is the demand for transparency indicates high levels of employee engagement and desire to be involved in decision-making process. Or then addressing the need for transparency can lead to improved communication between leadership and employees. So their weaknesses are the demand for transparency suggests a lack of trust in current decision-making process. So failure to address the transparency issue could widen the communication gap between leadership and employees. So there are opportunities or addressing the transparency demand can boost employee morale. Then open decision making process can encourage innovation and creativity as employees feel valued. Then there are threats. Ignoring the demand for transparency may lead to increased employee turnover as dissatisfied employees seek more transparent workplaces. Or then failure to address transparency concerns could damage the company's reputation. Then the third one is the develop alternative course of action or the ECOA. First is increase communication and explain rationally. So leadership should proactively communicate decisions to employees, explaining the rationale behind them in a clear and concise manner. Then second is establish a feedback mechanism. Create a formal or informal feedback mechanism where employees can express their concerns and suggestions regarding decision making. The third one is implement a transparency committee. Form a committee composed of representatives from different the organization to provide input and guidance on decision-making process. Then the next is evaluate each ECOA or alternative course of action. So ECOA 1, increase communication and explain rationally. So first is advantages. Demonstrates openness and accountability, fostering a sense of transparency. So there are disadvantages. Maintaining clear and consistent communication requires a sustained commitment from leadership. Then feasibility. This is relatively straightforward and easily implementable approach requiring minimal resources. So then the second ECOA is establish a feedback mechanism. So their advantages provides a platform for employees to voice their concerns and suggestions. So their disadvantages are establishing a structured and transparent feedback mechanism is crucial to ensure effectiveness. Uh, ensure effectiveness. Then their feasibility requires planning and resource allocation for setting up the feedback mechanism and managing responses. And the third ECOA implement a transparency committee. So the advantages creates a more representative and collaborative decision-making process. So their disadvantages requires a significant commitment. Establishing maintaining a committee requires time, resources, and a commitment to shared decision making. So their feasibility requires significant planning, resources, and cultural shift towards shared decision making. Then the next is recommend course of action. So leaders should commit to regular, clear, and consistent communication about decisions, including the reasoning behind them. Implement a structured system for employees to provide feedback on decisions, ensuring leadership actively listens and responds to concerns. Choose a specific project or decision-making process to pilot a transparent approach. The next is implementation and evaluation. ECOA implementation steps. First, define the transparency scope, good for 1 month. The leadership team, HR, define scope. Second is develop communication strategy, good for 2 months. Leadership team, HR, internal communications team. The third is establish decision-making processes, good for 3 months. The leadership team, department heads, employee representatives. In the fourth, training and development, good for 4 months. The HR, training department, then the leadership team. The fifth are implement pilot programs, good for 6 months. The department heads, project managers, employee representatives. Then the sixth, continuous improvement and expansion. Then ongoing, the leadership team, HR, employee, and representatives. Then next is monitoring and evaluation of metrics. First is employee satisfaction and engagement, surveys, feedback sessions. Second, trust in leadership, surveys, focus groups. Third, decision-making quality, outcome analysis, KPI impact, employee. And the fourth is employee retention rates, track retention rates. Then the fifth, the last, communication and feedback, monitor communication frequency and quality.